kids, which is awesome. Welcome. This is the medical careers class here at Cherry Creek. My name is Chris Stirrup. I am the facilitator of this class, and we have just a great opportunity. A few people up here that will be helping me during the class. We have Dr. Hunt, who's right in back. We have Dr. Parra will not be here. I got a text message that he had a medical scenario take place. Dr. Bruce Brook is right over here. Dr. Tanya Atagi, she just got back in the country, so she didn't think she'd be able to make it today. Let's see. Dr. Gretchen Fry and Dr. Kern Buckner, they both are helping out with this class, but they are both traveling right now as well. So we have kind of a cool little cohort of this class. This class has been offered for quite a few years. Now, this is the start of this class. About 9 years ago, I was at Chaparral High School down in Parker, and the principal down there had a committee called School to Career, and that principal, his name is Ron Peterson. He's director of high schools in Cherry Creek schools now, and his motivation was, let's have professionals come in and talk to our kids during homeroom. And we used to have homeroom once a week for about 45 minutes, and you had shortened periods, and that was the opportunity for you to get help on homework or other things like that. But we'd also bring in people to speak. So I was at a doctor's appointment, and I had asked my doctor, I said, would you be willing to come in and talk to my kids during homeroom one day? And he said, no. Okay. He goes, but my senior partner would. My senior partner was Dr. Pete Baker, and I got in trouble with my wife because it was supposed to be like a 10-minute in and out visit and then be home, and it turned into like a 90-minute visit that he had been involved with a class at Arapahoe High School for many years, which was put on by a doctor named Sam Langstaff, and it's still offered at Arapahoe High School. It's been offered at Arapahoe High School since, I believe, 1975, 74. Dr. Hunt had actually taken that class in like 89 or something. No. And so we started offering this class at Chaparral High School. Offered it for 6 years at Chaparral High School. Found wonderful success at Chaparral High School. They still offer it at Chaparral High School, but I came up here this past year to open up the school in the wee hours of the morning. So Dr. Baker passed away this summer. His wife and daughter are up front here. He was a wonderful, wonderful person, and this class is going to continue in his name as a great opportunity. So a few things. So this is Ron Peterson, Mitch Jelniker. This is Dr. Baker and myself, and we had nominated many years ago for 7 Everyday Hero. Dr. Hunt, Dr. Baker, myself, Dr. Baker, and that is Brian Taylor, he's a Navy SEAL, who will be talking to you guys. And so this is basically what last year's class looked like. This is actually Dr. Atagi talking up front. But this class is dedicated to Dr. Pete Baker. He's a wonderful person and man, wonderful family. His kids went through here. His grandkids will go through here. So this is a neat opportunity. All right. So a few things that will happen as days progress with this. You will see me as kind of the person making sure everything's taken, correctly running. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to get the air flowing, but it just hasn't kicked on yet. I will be wandering around the room. I'll be doing a couple of things. I will, one, kind of be keeping an eye on you guys to make sure you didn't pass out, because you will see photographs of procedures. You will see videos of procedures. And sometimes on an empty stomach, when it's warm like this in a room, when your sugar's dropping a little bit, you might go night-night. I want to make sure you don't have your cell phones out. which one of your friends are really up right now anyhow that you need to be on the phone with? They should be here if they're up, so get them here. So this is a attendance sheet. All I want you to ever do on this attendance sheet is just put your initials or a star or a smiley face or circle your name. Do not circle your friend's name, please. If I count on this and I say, okay, there's X amount of kids on here, and all of a sudden there's X minus 5 kids that are in the class, I got to do the hard thing. Once the class ends, I got to hold everybody here and call roll. And I'll start from the end of the alphabet because those kids always had a hard time. Last name starts with a Z, going, I'm always back in line. So I'll start like that. But please just sign your name and your name only. Make sure it goes all the way down the row. Like if you're sitting in the middle, don't go and pass it back. It needs to go all the way to the end of the row and just snake it all the way to the back. We have a cadaver lab we will be attending. You will be engaged in holding the human body. I'm handing out right now 3x5 note cards. And this is mainly for practice, but you guys can all do this for reals. What I want on these is if you have a question, especially during any of the presentations, you just write your question down. And about 6:35, I would then go and pick these up. The nice thing about this is we found over the years is kids are more apt to ask a personal question on those than raise their hand. Midterm, final exam. Not bad. We'll get to that. That's coming. I had to come over here to get them. Here. They don't have any. Guys. All right, everyone got a note card? If you don't worry, we won't make fun of you. So, what do we want to do in this class? You're going to ask questions on these 3x5 note cards towards the end of the lecture. I will ask the questions to the medical staff that are here. Okay? Questions are safe because I'm going to collect them and I'm going to mix them up. So you're not going to know that this question came from the back row. So if you have truly a question that you really do want to know, ask it. This is a safe spot for you to ask that. Field trip will be over to Arapahoe Community College to their cadaver lab. It's different than what I had done last year, which is fine. Jody Johnson runs it over there. Does a great job. Have any of you been to a cadaver lab yet, if you weren't in the class last year? Good. Should I go gross story for you in the cadaver lab for you? You want that? Can I go there? Don't worry, I have pictures of cadavers that I'll show you here in a few minutes. So last year, we're up at CU Med School, and they did a great job presenting to us. It got to a point they couldn't handle the volume of kids that we have. And so Cherry Creek High School became probably the first high school in America who actually purchased a cadaver. This was ours. Now, we couldn't have it on campus. We weren't posing with it for selfies. It was a 77-year-old woman, and we get in there, and I said, shoot, I really wanted to have the kids see inside the skull and have the brain extracted. And so they said, great, let's do it. So a guy named Ed Moline, who runs the state, or had run the state anatomical board, basically removes the scalp, peels all that off, gives me the saw, which vibrates nicely. It's the same kind of saw you'd cut a cast off with. Dr. Hunt, I don't know what kind it's called. Oscillating. So what was that? Osteotone. So basically, you put it on your hand, you don't feel it, but it cuts bone nicely. So I'm starting over here, and I'm cutting here, cutting here, cutting here, and this is real thick right here. All of a sudden, you just hit this huge pocket, and I had a mask and goggles on. They weren't sealed as well as they should have been, and all of a sudden, a huge amount of bone, dust, goes up into my face, in my nose, in my mouth, in my eyes. I'm like, that was a taste I won't forget. So, yeah. It was a good one. Okay. Just a little nitty-gritty. Just want to stay on task. No cell phones. Okay? I get it. Sometimes it might go off. And I get it that you want to know who it is. But it's rude for you to check it, and we will follow Cherry Creek's policy on that. If you're absent from my class, excused or not, whether it's a religious days will not count against you. But it's 10 points off. Okay? I can't make this class up. So you lose 10 points. You're like, but that's not fair. I get it. Here's the thing. You can miss up to 8 times. That's 2 weeks of the class and still maintain getting an A in the class. Okay? So use those days sparingly if you need to. I get it. You had a late night. You have an exam. You have something that took place in your life that you have to deal with. 8 days you can still miss and still get an A in this class without any problems at all. Okay? Tardy, it is early. I know it. Okay? Now I get here, I pulled in, I got into campus at about 5 after 5 this morning. You know what I love about driving on the roads this early? There's nobody else. I drove on a sidewalk through a park. There's no one out. It's great. I loved it. Okay? So if you become a bad tardy person, because usually I will keep that door propped open until kids start getting here and start hanging out there outside of Mr. Silva's office, looking in his window, seeing what he's doing. Then I'll close that. Okay? If it becomes a problem for you, I'm going to have to refer you to the dean. I'm sorry. And I get it. Sometimes if your family are the people who are dropping you off, we got to light a little fire under you guys. Eating, heck yeah. Just don't have the noisy food. Don't be the person with that wrapper. You know the one in the movie theater where it takes about 17 minutes for them to open a piece of candy because they're trying to be quiet and you're going, okay. I don't like hearing this. Okay, if you have the noisy food, have it pre-unwrapped before you get here. Please. Cadaver lab. Let's talk about this. Cadaver lab, we will allow 18 students to go at a time. I can't take any more. Okay? You are responsible for your own transportation to the cadaver lab. It's at Arapahoe Community College. I will get you the information of where it's located. 18 students means some of you aren't going on that day. There's enough labs that you can go. Our first lab will be on a Friday or a Saturday, or actually for you it'd be one day or the other. Not this coming weekend, but the following weekend. Okay? District approved it, have the paperwork in. I will, starting tomorrow, have 18 and 18 piles for the cadaver lab for those 2 dates. Okay, if those happen to be the 2 dates you want to go, you want to be the first ones to go, awesome. Get here early. Get one of those 18. There will be enough sheets that I'll pass out for labs other than that. But our first lab will be 828 or 829. Okay, so it's coming quick. So there's a packet I'll have you fill out and bring back to us. There's way too much to sign on it. I get it. But it's just part of the policy. You have to find your own ride there. I will have a parking pass for you if there is a car that needs to sit in the parking lot of Arapahoe Community College. Okay, I will get that to you that day. So, tomorrow, first thing, if all 18 from each of those trips goes, you didn't get here early enough, and I apologize. All I can ask is please get those forms, once you get them, filled out as fast as you can. Get them back to me as fast as you can by this coming Friday, because it's a quick turnaround cadaver lab. The next labs after that, we have plenty of time. The next ones are like 9:18, 9:25, 10:16, and 11:20. Probably won't be doing the 11:20 one because we have enough with that. If we don't, then I'll fill that one. I had one Saturday lab. All the rest are Friday labs. You will miss school. Yeah, you have to make up what you do with the teachers that you missed. There's all that stuff to fill out on those forms. So that's what we got. Let's get some cadaver labs. Okay, cadaver lab. This is what you'll look like in the cadaver lab. Underneath that white thing is a brain. Oh, heck, there's a brain right there. Those are Shap kids. This is a humidor. If any of your family members enjoy a cigar, that mimics the same thing, keeping things moist. Okay, but you don't want any cigars in there. I'm going to warn you, the next couple photos are going to get a little more graphic. Anyone feeling queasy yet? Okay, we're going through the spine, taking a look at the spinal cord. That's not too bad. You ready? There you go, look at that. Brain out. Top of the spinal cord, pituitary gland. Here's the guy's nose, ears. This is the leg. This is actually a girl named Morgan Brocious. She's actually in nursing school now. So I told her once you get done with nursing school, you got to come back and talk. She goes, Mr. Sturp is not a chaparral. I want to only talk with you where you're at. I said, I don't care. You talk here at Creek. Is that too gross? Look at how rough and rigid where your brain kind of hangs out. All right, a few things. Now you got the gross stuff done. You're going to see male and female body parts. Let's just break the ice with this one. I had a parent last year who this kid went to the cadaver lab. The parent says to me, calls me and says, I'm a little bit concerned. I said, oh, what happened? My son saw everything at the cadaver lab. Okay. He saw the vagina. He did. I don't know which cadavers we'll have, but we're not necessarily going to be covering a whole lot up. Okay? It's an anatomy class on steroids. Okay? We're going to have doctors that are going to talk to you about diseases. You're going to see on this projected screen body parts. Those body parts can range anywhere from the top of the head to the bottom of the feet, inside, outside, backside. We don't have a rating. You're going to see a plastic surgeon with reconstruction that had been done to both male and female body parts. You're going to see the plastic surgeon talk about, yes, Dr. 90210, as the Hollywood doctor, does exist in your field. But you're also going to see some other wonderful things. You're going to hear medical terminology. Each Thursday, I'm going to try and get an email out. Your email is not active on PowerSchool, or if you are not a Creek student, because a few of you are not, email me your information. I'll make sure you're on the list. Okay? I don't want to offend anybody by the class, but I want you to understand that you will see, starting tomorrow, a penis and a vagina on that screen. And you will see what syphilis, gonorrhea, herpes, crabs, HPV. You'll see it. Okay? It's a wonderful presentation. I didn't slate it to be first because I wanted to, gross you out. It was just, that was what we lined up to be on our first one. If there's a presentation that, because of religious reasons, you can't see, I get it. Let me know. Don't let me know that morning. Let me know in private through an email or some sort, please. And I'll excuse you. I'll give you an alternative lesson for that day. Okay, but please rest assured, you're seeing everything through the eyes of medicine, not through the eyes of pornography at all. Question? Okay. So, as I said, make sure your stuff's up on PowerSchool. If you're not a Cherry Creek student, PowerSchool might not make sense to you. Okay? Make sure your parents' information is live and active. Please. I will send those emails to both you and your parents. If you're like, well, I use my Gmail account all the time, well, please check your PowerSchool, your Cherry Creek school email that was given to you. Okay? If we have a snow day or if we have a delayed start, class is canceled. We won't make up that day. Okay? Now, you know as well as I, this school doesn't have snow days. And I can assure you, even though the rumors are out there, that our superintendent did not grow up in Alaska. Did he? No. Because every district I've been in, anytime there's an inch of snow on the ground, it's like, yeah, it's because their superintendent grew up in Alaska. Either there's a plethora of higher administration coming out of Alaska, or it's just a great story to stick with. Obviously, your safety is our number one concern. If it's a dangerous scenario for you to drive, just send me that email. Give me the heads up. I get it. You get 8 days. Okay? But if you had an unsafe scenario because you live on that side of the pond or south of the pond or north of the pond that got a heavier amount of snow than this side of the pond, I get it. Be safe. Take care of yourself. Okay? I understand I have doctors here, but I don't need you getting in an accident beforehand because we're going to be here, not out on the road. Okay, your midterm and final. I can't guarantee what it will be. I've done multiple choice tests, and they're tough. I also, last year, changed one up. I had one of our transplant surgeons really get pretty deep on the philosophy of doing transplant. And so my midterm for last semester was support or defend your position on transplant surgery. And I had a lot of papers that were really good, but one that stuck out was opposed. And it was opposed for reasons that I would not have ever thought about. It was opposed because this young lady had moved from China to where prisoners don't have a choice. Oh, you have 2 good kidneys? Okay, you're a prisoner. You go get one removed and it goes to somebody else. Families that choose to sell their internal organs so they can survive. That grabbed me pretty well. That was a global view. That was not a United States view, and I was floored. I gave that transplant surgeon, I said, you got to see this paper. It's a point of view that I had never thought about, and I loved it. I loved that it was pointed out that way. I loved that it made me look at more of a global picture on things, and I don't like that those things do take place, but I was so glad I was made aware of it. Raise money. We have a few ways that money's coming in, but basically the long and short of this class is I need a check from each of you for $30. Title it, and it's be on this form, but title it Cherry Creek CTE because it's a career tech ed class. Okay? That $30 pays for a few things. Pays for a small gift for medical professionals who are here, who have given their time. And it also will pay for your lab. Okay? So, and I'll get you the syllabus here in a little bit so you're not scared of it. So, who am I? This is my 20th year as a math teacher. Medical careers for 8 years. I have an office in this building in the pit because I teach one period of math here. So usually before school, during first period, I'm there. Second period, I have an Algebra 1 class I get to teach. And then my office is in the Career Tech Ed building, which is at the north end of the stadium. Second floor going through the doors by the picnic table if you ever need to get a hold of me. That phone number is my office number. That phone number, if you are going to be absent and your parents are calling it an excused absence, Cherry Creek High School and Career Tech Ed building don't really overlap with the excused absences. Okay? Your parents will have to call that as well to have this an excused absence. And I will tell you that the auto dialer is goofed up. It will call at about 11 o'clock in the morning saying your son or daughter has missed 6th period. 6th period hadn't happened yet. We weren't looking into the future. It's just something going on with the auto dialer. We'll fix it. Let's see. Husband, dad, that's my wife and kids up skiing. Sorry, over 2 plankers. If you're a single planker, I get it. I need to control 2 things in poles at the same time, as well as my 2 daughters. Both daughters are now in middle school. They're at Powell Middle School. My wife teaches at Arapahoe Community College. She teaches chemistry and physics. That's me, singing. KISS is my favorite band. Okay? We performed Love It Loud, Rock and Roll All Night in front of 2,000 students, and I got in trouble because we had the amps turned too loud. And I said, it's rock and roll. If it's too loud, you're too old. And I got to meet the band as well. Yeah, buddy, I'm sorry, I'm that guy. I want an A. I want to earn an A in this class. Be here. Attendance is worth 450 points. Okay? Your thank you letters are right. It's worth 450 points. That's 900 out of 1,000 points. 900 out of 1,000 is a 90%. That means you can do kind of poorly on the midterm and final. Now, I say don't go and bomb it. Do the best you can. I'll let you work on it together, unless it's the paper. Okay? I even let you use your cell phones on it to look up stuff. And you will come forward and say to me, but I can't find anything on the internet about that question. I'm sorry. You have to use your mind. Do the thing. I'm sorry. Not every answer is on the computer. That's okay. I'm pretty sure y'all, if you had to go through a medical procedure, wouldn't want to think that the medical professional who might be cutting into your body cavity is Googling where your spleen is at. If that needs to be where you have to have work done. How much does this cost? $30. Checks made out to Cherry Creek CTE, and I'll get this to you on the paperwork here in a few minutes. So just look through it. You can email me. If this is a hardship for you, talk to me. Don't grandstand it in front of people. Talk to me individually, and we'll make it work for you. Okay? COPIC is the medical malpractice insurance company for the majority of the doctors in the state of Colorado who do not work for Kaiser. They donate a nice amount of money to us each year. They're a great sponsor of us. The PTCO, the Parent Teacher Organization, they're actually the ones who bought our cadaver last year. And I think they just bought the cadaver because they wanted to tell everybody, hey, we bought a cadaver. Yeah, it was wonderful. It was a great donation. And Cherry Creek High School Foundation will also be donating some money. So $30, I don't think, for the experience you're going to get in here is that much. Especially that cadaver lab where you will hold the heart, the lungs, the spleen, the kidneys, the intestines, the brain, and many other things. These are a few of our sponsors. Did I get those right? Is that right? Back at Brookings, I'm still waiting for one from you. I'll get it up there. Obviously, Cherry Creek High School and Cherry Creek schools. I need to get our CT going up there. I'm sorry. Larger pictures of the class. Connection outside of high school. I believe in the network of people. Okay, I have a Facebook page that I would ask all of you to join. It's called the Pre-Medical Class at Cherry Creek. And there are people who are medical professionals who are part of that group. There are people that I like to stay in contact with because, you know what, if you go into medicine, I'd like you up here. I'd like you talking early in the morning to our class. Okay? God bless you. It's kind of hard to get you into shadow, but we can. But if I had someone come up here and all of a sudden there's 40 of you that say, hey, I want to shadow you, that makes it tougher. Okay, so if you do want to shadow, contact me, and I will contact the medical professional for you. They might say no, but they might say yes. I have a few that, one who will speak. She had asked Dr. Baker many years ago that if she could shadow him. He said, sure, come on over. And this is when he was over Sky Ridge. And she watched some procedures done. Colonoscopies, where the camera goes up this way to see inside, or down the throat to see the other side. And then Dr. Baker took her down to the emergency room and let her have at it. And she came back, she goes, this was so cool, Mr. Stirrup. I said, oh, did you see some cool stuff at Dr. Baker's office? Yeah, that was pretty cool. But I was in the ER, and this guy came in, and he got shot, and I was holding the IV, and he's right there on the table, and they're working on him. I'm like, oh. She'll actually speak in a few weeks. She's awesome. Did she ever come out your way, Dr. Hunt? No. That's kind of what our Facebook page looks like. Find us, join it. It's a closed group. I don't allow the people to get on there and say, hey, my mom's selling this. They're deleted. Okay? This is more of a professional group for you guys. Closing, and then I'm going to turn this over to Dr. Hunt, Dr. Brookins for a couple of parting words. Monday through Thursday, 6 a.m. I get it. It's early. You're going to have pediatricians that are going to come in here and tell you flat out, you guys shouldn't be sleeping right now. I get it. Okay? Who are we? I think I told you who we were. I have a cohort of doctors that will be working with us to ensure that the vision of this class, as well as Dr. Baker's daughter and wife will be on that to keep us with the vision of what Dr. Pete Baker wanted to see this class do and continue to do. Money, $30 fee. Checks made out to Cherry Creek CTE. And join us. Pre-medical class at Cherry Creek on Facebook. Okay? All right. So let's just practice this. If you wrote down a question, fantastic. If you did not write down a question, fantastic. But pass your questions this way, I will pick them up. But is there any individual questions that you have for me that you want to do a shout out right now? And you're welcome to write on those forms any questions you have. Go ahead.
It says there's 18 students for but everyone will be given.
Absolutely. You might not just get the date that you want. If you want one of those first two dates, get here early tomorrow. So the question was, 18 students at the cadaver lab, will everyone be able to go? Absolutely. You won't be able to go on each trip, just one of them. And Dr. Hunt, would you like to address the class while I rifle through the questions? Good morning.
Very nice to meet everybody. Thanks for the opportunity. There's so much energy in the first day of school. I was thinking about it on the way over. I've got 3 kids. The youngest is starting her senior year in college. I'm going to leave from here to pick her up at the airport because it wasn't enough that she spent all semester in Europe and then Australia and Hawaii. She had to take the last weekend before she moves into her house in college and go with 11 of her girlfriends to Las Vegas. So this is going to be, if you think kindergarten, 12 years of school, and then 4 years of college, 3 kids. This is my 51st of 51 first days of school. So I appreciate the energy and the excitement for getting started. As Chris mentioned, I attended the first pre-med class at Arapahoe, so that was 41 years ago. In that class, I had a bunch of my classmates. I had 500 kids in my graduating class at Arapahoe. 9 of them are doctors now. And I know at least a couple kids from Heritage and Littleton who are also there who are physicians. I think it's a great opportunity for you, and look forward to speaking to you a couple of times. I did my schooling all here in Colorado, college and medical school, my residency, and then went to the East Coast for 8 years. Was on the faculty at George Washington University, and had an opportunity there to do some very interesting things with the White House and military. And I'm going to talk about that in a week. I think next week I have my first lecture here. I'll speak to some of that kind of stuff. And then I will speak to you later in September about the Columbine shooting. I was a physician who took care of some of the kids, and then was also the medical director for a lot of the EMS agencies who responded to the scene. So besides emergency medicine, and I've been back in Colorado 20 years now at Swedish Medical Center, working in the emergency department there. I also do a couple other things. I do a lot of consulting for the military and for foreign governments. So I do a fair amount of traveling overseas, Middle East, Asia. I was in Ghana in May doing some Ebola work. And then I'm also the EMS, or Emergency Medical Services, medical director at Health One, which is all the hospitals that Swedish affiliates, Skyridge and PSL and Aurora and Rose, and do the training for all the paramedics and EMTs. So I'll have an opportunity to speak to all of you. I hope a little bit about that. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks everyone for being here early. Bruce?
What do you got?
Nothing prepared, but I think it's wonderful that these students are willing to get up an extra hour early with that and attend something like this. There are a wide variety of careers in medicine, but I think you'll find that just attending the different classes, you will increase your knowledge base about your own human body, the miracle that it is, and I think you'll enjoy it. Look forward to talking with you in the future.
Okay, these are a couple questions that come from you guys, so good job filling them out. Will we study EMS procedures? Yes, I have the captain of the Colorado Springs Fire Department come up. All he does is talk about how he trains paramedics. He will have mannequins. He'll show you how to put in a chest tube. He'll show you how to put in a breathing line, things like that. So he will be coming in. Who are the doctors that will be visiting? A lot. Whoever question this is, email me and I'll get you the information on that. How much school did I go through after high school? And then who's your favorite character on Scrubs? Well, I don't watch Scrubs. Let's see. I didn't go the traditional route through school. My long and short of it, my senior year of high school, my dad's company filed both corporate and personal bankruptcy, and I lost my college fund. So I had to work my way through college. So a 4-year degree took me 7 years because I was working full-time and went to school part-time. So there you go. And sorry, I don't watch Scrubs. I apologize. Will we have a chance to talk about specific medical field? You're going to hear a whole bunch of different medical fields. So it's not me talking each and every day. I talk very little. Does that answer that question? I don't know who this is, and I don't want to embarrass anybody. But if I didn't answer your question, please email me, and I'll make sure I get that. And what lecturers will be here? Again, if you email me, I will tell you that this week Dr. Mesa will be here tomorrow talking about infectious diseases, which include STDs. Who do I have on Wednesday? Shoot, I know it's full. Thursday, I forgot. Both Wednesday, Thursday, I apologize. But if you don't want to know this week, check your emails, make sure they're working. Did everybody get a syllabus? Did everybody have the opportunity to sign in or fill in your name on this? If your name wasn't on this, that's okay. If you didn't sign it because your name wasn't on it, come up and fill it out real quick when you get as soon as I let you guys go. Any other last second questions for me? Yeah. Yes, I have Amy Solomon who comes in from Pima Institute, and she talks about a whole broad field of, anywhere from 6 month to 18-month certificates you can earn and start working right away. She does a nice job. And she will also be here for the career fair that we're holding in October. I know that. So, long and the short, this class normally can go up to 7 o'clock. Okay? I'm not going to hold you to that because I got to know with my stuff, but I just want to make sure that you guys all realize it says, 6:55. I don't want you bolting out of here, because somebody is, trying to finish up the presentation. Sometimes the presentation might go long, sometimes it might go short. It is what it is sometimes. Okay? So, just so you know, everyone listening, only 18 students at a time can go to the cadaver lab. So I will have 36 applications to go to the cadaver lab available tomorrow. If you want to go on one of those first 2 cadaver labs, get here early so you can get that form. Okay, as soon as I run out, there are no more slots left to go on that trip. Does that mean you can't go to a cadaver lab? There's going to be other opportunities. I'm just handing out the first 2 days because it's so soon from now. Okay? Eating, please do. Just not the noisy food. Cell phones, make sure they're away. Mr. Moore, do you have anything you want to address?
I just want to tell you guys thanks for being here. This is a great opportunity. It's going to be unlike most of your other classes. Be thankful. You only have to listen to him probably twice throughout the whole year. The rest of the time, actually, it's going to be people from the medical professionals that are going to be in. Everything he was talking about, from EMT through surgeons through to he has a Navy SEAL that's very entertaining that comes in and talks about how he got into the medical field. And so I hope you're looking forward to this class. It's a great opportunity, and we're glad that you're here.
Any other questions? Come on forward. If you didn't sign in, sign in. If you didn't have your name on there and you didn't print your name, come up here and print your name. Other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you. You're so welcome. Did I do all right?
Yeah,
You want it in alphabetical order?